We are in Milford Haven. It's my birthday today, so I'm going to treat myself to a nice hot shower and some laundry. We got in here yesterday and we were exhausted. It was a long, bumpy day. So yeah, we're just getting organised and getting ourselves together. And it's a really nice day because it never rains on my birthday. The whole time that I can remember, I've never had a rainy birthday. But we are in Wales still, so anything's possible. Last time we were here, I was about 26 weeks pregnant with Ollie, and we loved it here. We were waiting out some bad weather on our way up from Dartmouth, and it's really nice to be back because the facilities are great here, so I'm going to get some laundry done while I'm here as well.
This is the boat that I want to buy that we can't afford. This is an Oyster 56, and this would be my dream boat if I had all the money in the world. This or a Kraken 50. This would be absolutely ideal. It's just spectacular, isn't it? Look at that. That's a proper boat. That is a proper boat.
They've welded it.
Oh yeah.
Simple.
Welded the logo onto the front. It's a little Invader, isn't it?
Round the corner.
Or a Mirage.
I'm sitting in the water.
Yes, there's a little boat here.
Here last time. Melissa needs a wash. Melissa needs a wash, I do.
Well, we're all going to the showers. This little boat here is called Melissa.
It's very cute.
Very cute. Floating accommodations here, which we can stay in, and they're named. So this is Nantucket.
Oh, and they've all got like history of the names they have.
Yeah. This one's called this is number 2. This is called Tembet. Awesome. And they've got a little, can't see them in me, they've got a little patio out the front. Oh, we should have asked to have a look at those. Morlo translates as sea calf. And then the 4th one is called Sybil. And Sybil was the very first vessel to enter Milford Docks when it opened in 1888. And it was also Basil Fawlty's wife, Dancing Queen from Amsterdam. Don't know what it is, but it's very capable looking. Look at that for a doghouse.
That's asleep, isn't it?
So that's the other way I thought about doing our doghouse, and all rounded like that with flexible panels. That looks really cool, doesn't it? But it's a lot more work to make, and to make it look good. Very nice, very nice. I've no idea what make and model of boat that is, but she looks like a proper thing. And this here is the same boat as our very first ever boat. This is a Snapdragon 24 or a Snapdragon 747. You can't tell until you see inside. But the little Snappy, the Snapdragon 24, is the first boat that we ever had, called Aeolus. Obviously this isn't Aeolus, but same boat. The first boat that we had together. They're a very, very good little boat, these. Very, very capable. So if anybody out there is thinking, I want a first boat, I mean, that's a huge subject, but they're a good option as a first boat to learn to sail on. Snapdragon
around this coast,
yeah,
it dries out.
the bilge keelers. Snapdragon 24 are the ones that I'd recommend. The Westerly Centaur's a good boat to learn on. Pandora International 22 foot, they're a good boat to learn on. There's loads of good ones, but I wasn't really going down that rabbit hole. They're a nice little boat, the Snapdragon. We like ours, yeah.
And it was spacious for the size.
Yeah. Right.
Time to get clean.
Showers and washing clothes. And it'll be really, really nice to have a proper shower, because we've not had one for 4 days.
Tell everyone that.
We've had a wash, we just haven't got a shower on the boat. We have got a shower on the boat, actually.
We can't sacrifice the water.
It's Mum's birthday today, so we're going to go and get her some sweets from a little sweet shop down by the marina.
Melissa's just finishing off in the shower and drying her hair, so while she's doing that, we've bought her some sweets for her birthday, and we're gonna go out for a meal tonight, hopefully, and then hopefully Ollie will have a kip and she can have a bit of break.
I told you it'd be sunny today. Just been and got supplies. We're just waiting for the washing machines to be free so we can put some washing on. But been out for a nice walk to the shops and stocked up with a few bits. And Ollie has fallen asleep, eating his rice cracker. Now I just need to see if I can transfer him to the boat without waking him up. Probably not going to happen. I might just have to carry on walking. I think it's quite windy out there, but not too bad. We could have gone today, but we just needed a day of nothing. Really, this is a really handy laundrette. Pop the washing on, I'll come back and stick it in the dryer in a bit and we'll be good to go for a little while longer. Nolly, help. Good job. Can you help, Ollie? So while we're plugged into shore power, I thought I'd get a quick sewing project done. So I'm making a lee cloth, but probably not a traditional lee cloth. It's going to be very high to contain Ollie, so he can sit on the berth and play.
And your copy of a Sailrite from China seems to work okay.
It works okay. Still not a zigzag machine. Yeah, I'm not asking it much. So we're just getting ready to leave Milford Haven tomorrow morning, and it's been absolutely lovely here. We've really enjoyed our time. We've just got back from my birthday meal out, which is really nice at the Harbour Masters. And we're just getting shipshape and ready, everything stowed away to go again. We would definitely recommend this marina. The staff are lovely, really easy to get into, and everything's really convenient, like laundrette and showers and chandlers and stuff like that. I have made the lee cloth for Ollie. This is more of an Ollie containment cloth than a lee cloth for us. I need to make another one for us, although we can use this one. But normally I'd screw it at the back, but this time I'm going to screw it at the front because I need it really high. And then as Ollie gets older, we can lower it and move it back, but you'll see what I mean. Back and then straightish, aren't they?
Yeah. The front of those lids is pretty straight. I'd have the whole interior like that.
Port side rotation.
That's it. Get that on there and stop it dead.
About 3/4. Got a stern line and you got it.
That was what?
I'd already done my plastic plan waiting to down
now. Right, so we're gonna
Slip the bow.
when they lock here, we'll slip the bow, because if that drifts out, that's fine. Then we'll slip the stern, and then we'll remove the centre cleat. So I'll be on the helm. Melissa will be running around like a
pull the stern in. You know, when we slip the bow, slip the centre cleat, and then.
Yeah, you could do actually. Not a bad idea. Slip the bow, remove the centre cleat as you come back, and then pull the stern in. if you need to. Yeah, it's I'm sure there's like a way to do this that everybody knows how to do it, but we've only been here a couple of 3 times before and not perfected it, and we never will, because we're not going to come here often enough to perfect it. But the plan is, I think, slip the bow, Melissa can walk back and then slip the centre cleat, and then come to the stern end, slip the stern end and pull the stern in so that I'm clear, and have a roving fender so that we don't clatter the edge with the stern end of the boat as I pull forwards.
We're just coming through the channel. We're a bit nervous going through lock gates and channels and stuff like that, but we're out.
Yeah, just keeping eyes out and ears peeled for big ships, because this is a major shipping channel.
Yeah, but don't let it put you off coming into Milford. The rule of thumb is stick to the channel, listen for traffic and get out of the way of big boats.
Yeah, and can we just say as well, Milford was really lovely. The staff were great. Particularly one member of staff, I won't name names, but he was just really helpful.
You know who you are.
You know who you are. Really helpful, really lovely, and yeah, everybody there is really friendly. The facilities are great.
Yeah, we had a good restful couple of days. Thanks,
thoroughly recommended. Thoroughly recommended. If you're in this part of the world, Milford's a very good option.
Yeah.
As we departed Milford, we tried to time our departure to align with the best tidal conditions. Navigating around Linney Head can be very challenging. Linney Head is a typical headland in these parts, and just off these types of headlands you get a seabed, which can cause the sea state to be really lumpy and nasty, especially when the tide is flowing in one direction and the wind comes from the opposite direction, which is pretty much exactly what we had on this morning. In actual fact, the tide was predicted to be slow and the wind was predicted to be slight, so we didn't anticipate it being as bad as it was. But because we set off a little early, the tide was running faster than we would have liked, and because the weather forecasts aren't brilliant, the wind was 5 knots more than predicted, and that made a big difference to the conditions. Many people advised us against tackling the Bristol Channel due to its tough tides and navigation, but we were determined to sail the entire Welsh coast. Feeling nervous from all the warnings, we made a few mistakes. It's all a learning experience, isn't it? And here's what we did wrong and what we could have done differently first of all. We slipped our lines too early, eager to get this passage done. By the time we reached the end of the channel, the waters were getting pretty choppy, and that made Oliver seasick, which meant I had to give him my full attention, and that meant Andy was alone on the helm. Jack can and does helm a lot, of course, but in these conditions it wasn't safe or appropriate to put a 12-year-old in charge of steering a big boat. We have now sorted a working autopilot, but at the time we didn't have one. Remember, this is a few weeks ago, so Andy had to remain in position, hand steering in the very turbulent water. Occasionally we had 3 to 4 metre troughs, so it was very important to keep the boat going in the right direction. On our boat, the halyards, which are the ropes that pull up the sails, don't come back to the cockpit but are controlled from the bottom of the mast, which means somebody has to leave the safety of the cockpit and go forward to the mast to raise the mainsail, which I couldn't do because I was looking after Ollie, Jack couldn't do because he's 12, and Andy couldn't do because he was hand steering. Raising the main would have really helped because it would have dampened down the horrible rolling motion of the boat. So what we should have done, in hindsight, was raise the mainsail much earlier when we were in flatter water, and that would have made a huge difference. As it was fine, but very, very, very uncomfortable. As I said, we have now bought some second-hand parts and have a working, albeit old, autopilot which is functioning okay, but we want to save some money for a new system where we can.
This is a little uncomfortable.
Just a bit.
We've still got wind against tide.
Little tiny bit of wind against tide. In order to make where we need to get to, we've had to leave with the air, and the wind is good for us later on, but not so good for us now.
Yeah, which is meaning some really rougher seas than what it should be. And we've got some big old wave troughs that we're going in and out of.
4 metres.
Yeah, I think at times we've got...
Wave height generally is about 1 metre, but every now and then one comes through that's at least 3, if not 4. And they're about once every 60 to 90 seconds we get a big one.
Yeah, so not very nice, but hopefully once we get past this sandbank and we turn a bit more, the wind will change and the tides will be in our favour, and it should make for a nice sail for the rest of the day.
Should do. We've been going 3 acres.
The GoPro footage didn't really show the sea state, but once things flattened out a bit, Andy could have a break and Jack could take the helm.
We're about an hour away from Swansea, just coming around the Mumbles. It's been a horrible passage, to be honest. The passage out down Milford and round Linney Head was just awful. Really, really choppy. Ollie was sick. I felt awful because he was really, really poorly, and it was just really, really nasty and unpleasant. But we're pushing on because we want to get to Penarth Marina by tomorrow, and in any case, there's nowhere really to stop. You know, you could say, well, you should have pulled over then and anchored and broken the passage up into smaller steps, which we could have done, but there's nowhere really to anchor on this bit of coastline that's got good protection. The wind's in the southeast kind of thing, so it's not ideal for anchoring on this coast. When the wind's in the north, you can anchor on this coast, it's fine. But yeah, we've got about an hour to go to get into Swansea Marina, and that's a little bit of a nerve-wracking thing as well, because of there's a huge lock, I believe, and then there's another huge lock for us to negotiate when we get to the marina.
The approach here is another buoyed channel with lots of hidden sandbars under the surface. This was another factor of the timing of this passage. It's another marina with a lock gate system, so we have to arrive during lock operating hours, which meant we had to leave Milford when we did. We also had some local knowledge from one of our followers, Len, who you remember came up with Ian to fit loads of wiring and sockets on Melody. He also met us and helped us take our lines. Following the lockkeeper's instructions, we enter the dock, which adjusts our boat to the marina's water level. Once inside, the lockkeeper gives you further instructions to go into the marina itself, because there's a sailing club and a council run marina in here which are separate entities and have different instructions.
Yeah, make your way down, going in one way.
pontoon there. There's another.
Is there a pontoon?
Give you the bow line.
Yeah.
Right, Len's got the bow line.
I've got the stern line already. This is it.
I think you went just a little bit out in the channel a little bit, mate.
I was told that that was the best thing to do.
Well, I think you went a little bit. You could have really come right in. Anyway,
I'll go and talk to them in the office.
hello
I'll
there.
be back at 5. I'm just going to
Okay.
talk to them in the office.
Are you enjoying it?
You jumping aboard?
Good.
It's coming.
Well, Ollie, sleep, is he?
We made it to Swansea.
We did. That was one hell of a journey. It was horrible. It was like no possibility of sailing at all, and the sea state was just vile the whole way.
Yeah.
It flattened out a little
Well,
bit.
yeah, the last 3 hours were quite nice.
Yeah, it flattened out a bit towards the end of the day. But
Yeah.
by the time it flattened out towards the end of the day, the wind had dropped to like nothing.
Yeah. Oh.
We hadn't got strong winds at all. The most we saw all day was like 14, 15 knots, I suppose. Which
Yeah.
we could have said, but that was when it was on the nose.
Yeah, wind against tide when it was about 20 knots, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 20 knots wind against tide round Linney Head. But we had to get here, so just the way it goes sometimes.
Yeah, and it's one of those, it wasn't predicted to be as bad as it was, and once we were out it was like, do we turn back and go through what we've just come through or just carry on? So we carried on and we made it here.
Thanks for watching. Next time on Sailing Melody, we carry on up the Bristol Channel to the capital city of Wales and the gorgeous marina at Planar, part of Boatfolk's network of marinas, where we have a well-earned few days off, having sailed the entire length of the Welsh coast north to south.